Welcome to Creative Cooking. Today we're going to do a little experiment, making a pork sausage for your charcuterie board. We're going to start off with just over a pound of ground pork and 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. Now you can cure a sausage with just salt, but I'm using a curing salt. It's that pink salt that has potassium nitrate or some nitrate, and that's one of the things that helps ham to keep that nice pink color, and you'll see. We're also going to add some pistachio nuts. I crushed a few of them and I left some of them whole. I've got some black peppercorns. We all know how much I love black pepper. And this is actually a recipe that I got online watching Julia Child and Jacques Pepin. And basically I'm doing it the same way. I'm adding a little extra pepper. I'm going to take 1 large clove of garlic, and rather than chop it, I'm just going to puree that through my little garlic press here so it gets evenly dispersed throughout the mix. And the recipe also called for 2 to 3 tablespoons of white wine. And this is a Sauvignon Blanc. Now you got to mix it all up, but you might as well just put that spatula away because you can't mix it with a spatula. You have to get in there with your hands. And do make sure that you mix it very, very thoroughly. And then what you got to do is you got to try to form that into a sausage shape. You want to press out any air gaps that might be in the middle. And I'm using parchment paper for this. You could use a plastic wrap, but I think the parchment paper is easier. And you want to roll that just like a Tootsie Roll. If that had brown paper with white lettering, it would be a Tootsie Roll. And you want to twist the ends, tighten it up, and then repeat the same thing with foil, because that foil is what's going to hold this thing together for us. Okay, and you just roll it one last time, make sure it's nice and even. All right, and then you're going to put it in the refrigerator for 3 days. It needs to be in there for about 3 days. And when it's done, put it into a boiling pan, or in my case the small roasting pan, because it's the right shape and depth. And if you're afraid that it might float to the top, you can always put a pan cover on top just to keep it fully submerged, because you want to poach this for 1 hour. You can then let it cool down in the poaching water if you want to. And then all you have to do is take it apart and see what it looks like inside. Of course, I didn't know what to expect because this was my first time doing it. So at first glance I said, that doesn't look too healthy. That was my first impression when I saw it. But I quickly realized it's just the way the curing salts and the salts settle or don't settle on part of the meat. And that's fine. As you slice it open, it looks pretty consistent throughout the inside. And it has a nice pink color to it, just like ham. You can see the cross section of the nuts. You can see the cross section of the peppercorns. And of course, all that was left to do was try a piece and see what I thought of it. And that will be the next part of this video, is a quick review. Just want to give you my thoughts on this sausage recipe that I made. Okay, it's something that, I'd expect to find or taste if I go to Europe. And I think part of that has to do with the addition of white wine and garlic into this sausage. The next time I might put in some herbs, leave out the wine, maybe leave out the garlic. And I'm thinking that I would also like to layer this with strips of ham or maybe strips of chicken or anything like that along the length of this sausage, so that when you cut it open, you have these different colored meats in there. I think you get where I'm going with this. I also tried to fry it, and I think it tastes even better if you put this in a pan and fry it with a little bit of butter. Slice it a little thicker than you would for a cracker or some other type of thing. I think you might like it. You might want to try it. You've got nothing to lose. I mean, what does it cost for a pound of pork, right? So do give it a try, and be sure to stay tuned, because I've got a lot of good hors d'oeuvre type things coming out between now and December 25th. Maybe even the week after Christmas into New Year's. So we'll see what happens. But I get a lot of good stuff, a lot of easy and quick things, some not so easy and quick, but equally delicious, if not more so. So do stay tuned, and I'll see you then.